F-22 Raptor, the first and only fifth-generation fighter aircraft flying in the world today. Overwhelmingly effective, defending the skies today and into the future.
You talk too much. I can't believe the things that you say.
Pete Hoekstra,
Tom Kean, Lee Hamilton, Howard Dean, Ken Mehlman,
Russ Feingold, John McCain,
Jane Harman, Pat Roberts, Ned Lamont,
Chuck Hagel, Jack Reed, Michael Chertoff,
Michael Chertoff,
Michael Chertoff.
Well, I think over the week leading up to the actual arrest, and particularly the days before, we saw an acceleration of the operatives in terms of their focusing on the planning, collecting the material, and getting ready to go.
I think we're safer, but we're not safe.
I think we are not as safe as we should be 5 years after the event.
So I think a lot of attaboys or a lot of pats on the back are due the intelligence community.
We want to get these guys, we want to wiretap them, and we want to stop them, but we should do it within the laws of the United States, because I think the British did what they did under the laws of England.
The techniques that we need to employ are offense, not defense. We need to reach down into these terrorist organizations and get them at the planning stage, which is exactly what happened in this case.
The American people wants all of us, leadership in both parties, including the president, to stay above this fray and quit using terrorism and our national security interest as a political edge issue.
You know, I think that's a false sense of security again. You know, the fact that we haven't been attacked since 9/11. You know, Bill Clinton could have said that after the first, attack on the World Trade Center.
And the truth is, Ned Lamont is a moderate. Ned Lamont earned his own living. He made a lot of money, and good for him in this American system.
I'm a strong fiscal conservative. I think we got to live within our bounds. I don't know whether that breaks with liberal Democrats or not, but I can tell you there's nothing conservative about this administration.
Joe and I have disagreements on a number of issues because I'm a conservative Republican and he's a liberal Democrat. I don't think it's appropriate for me to endorse or not endorse Joe Lieberman because he is running as an independent Democrat, but that's up to the people of Connecticut. I will continue to support the Republican nominee.
From Connecticut.
There's nothing more important to me, as you know, than electing Republicans. It's what I spend my life doing. It's my passion. The way I do it, the way I do it is to work with our leadership in the states. And what my leadership in the state has said to me is you ought to stay out of this one. You ought to focus on the House races and focus on the government races.
Do you think Senator Lieberman should get out of the race?
Well, you know, I think that's his own decision. It would be better for the Democratic Party. I think it would be better for the people of Connecticut. It would be better for the country if he did it.
Does this suggest that bloggers have finally reached their much hyped potential in politics?
Well, I don't know if they've reached the much hyped potential. It certainly is the first significant victory that they can point to. They've come close in other races, but they've never really had one.
I'm occasionally out of step with my party, too. Does that mean I'm a bad Republican or ought to be thrown out of office? That's up to the good people in Nebraska to decide that.
Obviously, I'm going to be supporting a Democrat for President of the United States, but I have a very high regard for John McCain, and this is just an area of disagreement. We agree tremendously on reform and work together well, and I'm proud to serve with him in the Senate.
But do you still think he would win easily, even if you were the Democratic candidate?
Oh, I think he'd beat me, but you know, in terms of overall, I think John would be a very strong candidate, but let's see what happens.
There is some opportunity here, Wolf.
You talk too much. I can't believe the things that you say.
F-22 Raptor. It is stealthy, lightning fast, supremely agile, highly precise, survivable, providing unsurpassed capability. This fifth-generation fighter aircraft, the first and only kind flying in the world today, once again providing the air power advantage. F-22 Raptor, overwhelmingly effective, defending the skies today and into the future.